I'm going to show you how you can recover 50K in margin in 50 hours. Here's my disclaimer for the video. So you should watch this entire video because I'm going to show you everything that I would do, and I'm going to explain everything so you don't have to work with me unless you want to save time. So I'll talk about that at the end, but for the case of this video, if you watch the whole thing, you'll be able to do exactly what I'm going to show you and save yourself 50K in margin. Most developers think that profit is being lost in the market. It's an easy excuse to make, but most profit is actually being lost inside of the walls of your business. I'm going to show you how you can fix it. So let's get into it. There are 7 margin killers. So we have 7 key areas that we're going to look at where margin leaks in real estate development. We have change orders, delays, vendors, capital, soft costs, key person, and tools. So if you're feeling that change orders are constantly slipping through the cracks and eating into your profit, or delays keep dragging on without a clean way of protecting your timeline or cash, or vendors are charging way more than they should and they're underperforming. I could keep going on, but I'll stop there. It's time to take a look at your business from the outside. So many founders end up getting stuck in the weeds of their business and the day-to-day activities. The goal here is to keep you out of them so that you can see the whole picture. So here's your DIY way out. Now, what you've been waiting for. Your ticket to freedom from chaos and burnout. Here's the step-by-step action plan that you can take so that way you get out of this pain and save yourself 50K in margin. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to rate your development business in a couple different areas from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. First is going to be change order management, delays, so delay drifts, vendor management, soft cost creep, tool sprawl, and key person reliance. So if you want to pause the video right here, you can read kind of what each is described as in the form of a question. Now, it's up to you whether you want to weight them equally, or you can use my preferred scale, which is also up above. So I got 20, 20, 20, and so on. Next, this is kind of an optional portion. You can lay it out on a heat map to see what your worst areas are compared to your best areas. There's no reason to necessarily work on those green areas right away. You can deprioritize those areas in comparison to the red. Just a way to visualize kind of what's going on. So now that I've helped you identify your problem areas, we can actually get a better understanding of where things are falling apart and how to fix them. So let's say that your biggest problem is vendor management. You're going to want to ask some questions like these. So how do you vet your vendors? What process do vendors go through before you work with them? Do you validate the work in person or through a portfolio through vendors? How do you identify poor performing vendors? Do you have a performance improvement plan or a PIP, for your vendors, etc.? Once you've answered each of these questions for the 7 sections, you can brainstorm how you solve those problems based on the answers to those questions. So for the above, if we were to ask these questions and your worst area is vendor management, it'd probably be a pretty good recommendation to say that you should create a vendor scorecard that's completed at onboarding and maybe quarterly, twice a year, or annually, depending on how many projects you're doing, how frequently you're interacting with different or new vendors. So next we have the last piece of the puzzle, which is prioritization. So the margin matrix is our framework for identifying what buckets to group things into for the next step. So the top right here, quick wins, is easy and high impact, while the bottom left is hard and low So you can see it says ease of recovery, and then margin impact is an up and down scale. So as you go right, it gets easier, and as you go up, there's more margin to actually be impacted. Make sense? So if you remember, the intent of this video was to show you how to recover 50K in margin in 50 hours. We want to attack the highest level tasks possible, so what you're going to do is you're going to identify the top 3 to 5 quick wins and start there. Now, for the part that I made the disclaimer about earlier, if this makes sense to you but sounds like a lot of work, I've got you covered. We developed the Redev OS scorecard, which is everything I just explained fully done for you. I'm explaining this here at the very end, kind of like the disclaimer above, because I don't want you to really buy it for me. You can do it yourself unless you're short on time, you have money to spend, or you want an outside perspective from a strategic thinker. If this is you, then we'll be happy to partner with you. And you'll also be happy to hear that A, if we don't identify at least $50,000 in margin, or B, if we don't meet your expectations for any reason at all, we have 100% no questions asked, money back guarantee. So the only thing we would ask from you is that if you do opt to go through this and, save, rewatch this video at a later point so that you can do it for yourself, we do ask that you email us your feedback and how going through this process worked at team@turbochargesnacks.com, and I'll put that up on the screen somewhere. Thanks for watching.